Okay, so today I'm going to be doing the end of year book tag. So this is a tag that is generally done late October, early November, where we discuss, I guess, kind of like goals or things to do with what we still have to get through for the end of the year. So yeah, perfect time to do it. So let's not waste any time and get right in to the prompts. Prompt number 1. Are there any books you started this year that you need to finish? That's an interesting question, because if I DNF a book, so if you don't know, DNF stands for did not finish. In other words, you picked up a book and you put it back down. But here's the thing, with a DNF, you pick up a book, you put it down because you don't want to read it anymore. So I don't plan to go back to my DNF'd books. Then there is shelved, and that term for me refers to, I picked up a book, I do want to finish it, but I don't want to finish it right now, so I'm just going to temporarily shelve it and I'll get back to it. I don't shelve books anymore. I used to. So I don't have any books that I still need to get through for the rest of the year. However, I do have some series that I need to get through, although I think I only have one series to get through. Yes, and that's the Shadowhunters series. I'm just being lazy. I'll grab the first book. The Shadowhunters series. So I've read the first 5 books and I'm currently reading the 6th one. So I should have that done by the end of the week. But otherwise, I don't have any other series that Oh, actually, yes, there is one more. And that's the Stormlight Archive series. I also plan to finish the Stormlight Archive series. So I have book number 4 on my current monthly TBR for November. It'll be the last, or actually now the second last, book that I'm going to read for the month of November. So if I can finish out these 2 series by the end of this month, I'm going to feel pretty good. Prompt number 2. Do you have an autumnal book to transition into the end of the year? Well, it's not autumn over here in Australia. I know that a lot of the book tags do lean a lot more heavily on, when it comes to seasonal things, on the American seasons, and that's absolutely fine. Over here in Australia, we are in spring, and then we're going to transition in December into summer. So if I were to translate it to the Australian version of the question, it will be, do I have any spring books that I'm reading before transitioning into summer? I don't believe so, no. Although I do plan in December, even though by then it will be summer, but I do plan in December to read The Wind in the Willows, and this book does remind me of spring in many ways, especially in chapter 1. We have an animal that is a mole that is spring cleaning, so yes, with a very famous line, hang spring cleaning. So, I don't know, would this count for a spring book? You let me know. Prompt number 3. Is there a new release you're still waiting for? No, I've read all the new releases that I've wanted to... Well, I've purchased all of the new releases that I wanted to. I am reading my last 2 new releases that were anticipated by me. I did a video in December of my most anticipated new releases for 2021. I have my last 2. I'm reading them this month, and then I'll be fully up to date with that. There is one book that was on that list that I did not end up reading this year, which is disappointing, but it's only because I forgot about it, and that was Defy the Night by Bridget Kemmerer. So I'm a little disappointed with the fact that I forgot that one, but hopefully it will make it to my 2022 TBR. But at the moment, all of the other books that I'm anticipating are coming out next year. Even Phil Stamper, his first of 2 books that he's releasing in 2022, the first one comes out in February. So, I mean, they don't come out at the end of this year. So we'll see how we go. Prompt number 4. What are 3 books you want to read before the end of the year? You know what? I'm going to go and have a look, because I've already determined not only what I'm reading in November, but what I'm reading in December. So I'll go and pick out 3 books for you guys, maybe 1 from November and 2 from December. So the book that I want to read in November before the end of the year is The Little French Bridal Shop by Jennifer Dupuy. This is a new release book, so it came out this year. It is an adult contemporary romance, and the basic premise of this book is that we're following a woman who goes to a small town to take care of her ill mother, and while she's walking around the town, she spies a wedding dress in a bridal shop. So she goes into the shop and tries it on. Unbeknownst to her, other gossipers of the town see her trying on the dress, assume she's getting married, and plan a wedding behind her back. This just sounds like it's going to be so funny. Seriously, I have been waiting for most of the year to read this, so I'm so happy I saved it till November because I'm in the mood for a funny book. In December, the first book that I can't wait to get to is The Afterlife of Holly Chase by Cynthia Hand. So this is a book that came up during Haley from, I think her name is Haley in Bookland. She does a 25 Days of Christmas or something where she does one video every day throughout the period of Christmas, the first 25 days of December. And in one of them, she did Christmas book recommendations and she spoke about this one. And it just sounds so good. So to me, it sounds like a retelling of A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens, where we have the ghost of Christmas past, the ghost of Christmas present, and the ghost of Christmas future or Christmas yet to come. And in this one, we follow Holly, I believe is her name, who is approached by these ghosts, but she doesn't change her life. And then when she dies, because she doesn't change her life, she becomes hired to become one of those ghosts and go out and do that job. So I'm really excited to see things from the other end. With A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens, we see things through Ebenezer Scrooge's eyes. So the guy who is having the ghosts come to him. In this one, we're seeing it through the eyes of one of the ghosts that's going out there and helping others. So I'm really excited to get to this. And the third book that I'm eagerly anticipating is Debbie Macomber's Dashing Through the Snow. This is going to be a buddy read that I'm going to do for the Mum and Me buddy read, and I'm really excited. I have never read Debbie Macomber before, and if you're, reacting to me with an open jaw-dropping moment. So was my mother. She was like, hey, you read so many books, how have you never read Debbie Macomber? I said, well, I don't know, I hadn't heard of her. But my mum's read many of her books and she absolutely loves her and she thinks I will too. The fact that this is a very Christmassy book, I mean, look at that cover. That is just beautiful. Makes me incredibly excited. Prompt number 5. Is there a book you think could still shock you and become your favorite book of the year? I love this question. This question and this prompt and this prompt alone reminds me of doing this book tag this time last year, and I gave the same answer I'm going to give to the question this year, which is I hope so. I hope that there's another book that's going to surprise me and make me really happy. I always go into a book with, positive energy, positive emotions. I always hope for the best every time I go into a book. So, yeah, I definitely hope so. I've got some great new releases. I've got some great holiday-themed books in December, all different genres, all different age ranges that I plan to read over the course of this month and next month. So it's very likely that I'm going to find a book that will surprise me in a good way, and I hope that that is the case. And finally, prompt number 6, have you already started making reading plans for 2022? You don't want to know. Seriously, you don't want to know. Because I am overly organized. I think I am going to be buried in books next year. I am not kidding when I say I think I have at least 200 books on my 2022 projected TBR. It is just insane. And again, they're split over all different genres because I'm a very eclectic reader with age ranges, so middle grade, young adult, and adult, as well as genres such as fantasy, contemporary, straight romance, LGBTIQ+, classics, thrillers, non-fiction. The list goes on and on and on, really, with me. But yeah, and then recently, Tiffany from Beach Bum Bookworm, I think is her channel name. I'll leave it in the description below. She did a 2-parter cozy mystery recommendations. If you love Gilmore Girls, you might like these books. And so I end up adding I don't know, 20 or so books onto my TBR again. So I have so many books to choose from, and I'm still even with those on my Discord, I'm saying if you guys have any recommendations, let me know. So I don't know if I'm going to get to all of the ones that are on my wish list for 2022, my projected 2022 TBR, but I love that I have so many to choose from. Oh yeah, including series. I think I've got about 8 or 9 series that I want to read as well. And some of them aren't short series. And then with the cozy mysteries, most of them are series as well. So it's oh my gosh. So I have so many plans reading-wise for 2022 that I can't wait to jump right into it. And with my classics, in case you're new to the channel, hello and welcome. Great to have you here. This year I had a goal to read 12 classic books by the end of the year, one classic per month, because I read one classic last year, The Great Gatsby, and I DNF'd it twice. But my classic reads have been going good, so I want to continue to do that next year. So I even have classics that I want to read starting next year, and I'm just really excited about it. I have so many to choose from, seriously. Very, very excited about that. But that is the end of year book tag. The end of year book tag. There you go. Try saying that 50 times fast. What plans do you guys have for the rest of the year? Any last minute goals coming in for you? Certain things you want to read? Certain benchmarks you want to reach? I know that some readers do stress out about their Goodreads goals by this point in the year. Please don't stress too much about your Goodreads goals. One thing that someone was saying on a sprint that I was watching recently, a reading sprint, was you can always just go in and edit the reading goal. And yes, you can. I mean, try not to put too much pressure on yourself. But, you know, if we're just taking goals for the fun that they are, what goals do you have between now and the end of the year? Let me know in the comments below. But in the meantime, that is where I am going to leave it. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you for all your lovely comments that I've been receiving recently. You guys have been amazing. Like, seriously, it's just touched my heart in so many good ways. So thank you so much to all the beautiful family here at Mr. Francie Reads, and I will see you again next time, letting you guys go with peace, blessings, and so much love. I post videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and I'll see you again then. Mwah! Happy reading!